Yo, what up? This is Consequence. You know 192 is in the building. And make sure you check me out on the Bootleg Kev podcast. Let's go.
Yo, man, Bootleg Kev podcast special guest here. The legend Consequence.
Yo, what up with it? 192 in the building.
It's crazy. I think the last time I interviewed you was with XV in like 2010 or 11 in Vegas.
I think we did.
We might have
Phoenix.
linked. Yeah, we probably did do Phoenix, but the first time then was.
First time was XV for sure.
You had like a random show on the strip in front of the New York.
Yeah, shout out to Tony from Red Bull. We did the Red Bull joint. Yeah, I remember that joint.
XV, man. Shout out to XV.
Yeah, shout out to XV. Wherever you at, man, holla, man. Word.
You could just move it if you want. You just came back from China. Ye and Ty obviously did the Vultures experience out there.
Merchant, you know.
Yeah, how was that, man? Because I mean, I heard the set was like historic in terms of just how long, like how many songs are done, and
yeah, it was about I want to say 90
records.
He ran through like 90 piece. That shit
is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Does he like know that that's what's about to happen, or is it just like just keep going?
A little bit of both, because you know, obviously, there's some parameters to the set, but then there's the feeling, and then there's the crowd, and you know what I mean, and then it's just vibes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that shit was live.
Yo, talk to me about like how crazy it is, like just you know, putting you in like a time machine and going back to like the College Dropout tour when you guys had like John Legend and Manny Ben Ari and Dilated Peoples was opening up and. You guys.
Well, I don't have to do that. You was there.
I was there.
Posted the pictures.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, right?
I was there.
Right. So, I mean,
but no, how crazy is it just to think like did you have like obviously at that point in time, even on that tour, he was like the hottest rapper still. Like you know what I'm saying, but shit's just crazy.
That
like
was the beginning.
That was the beginning for real.
The beginning, and
y'all had the spaceship dance y'all were doing on stage with GLC.
Right.
Yeah. Me and my boys would try to do that shit in high school.
Shout out to Kim Osario. That was Kim Osario used to be the chief editor of The Source.
Yeah, of course.
And her and Kanye had a friendship at the time, and she suggested that there be some kind of, I don't know, the Four Tops or some shit. But so that was the suggestion, just to like kind of make it more than just, you know, guys up there rapping or whatever. So we just, you know, brainstormed, kind of just came up with that. And, you know, it was one of those things that was just like, no, I'm not doing a spaceship dance, dog. I don't do the spaceship dance. And then next thing you know, I fuck it.
Right.
And it worked though. You know what
I'm
saying?
saying?
Like
was
every time, it was like a quirky, unexpected favorite thing of the tour. Like just when we would like now, mind you, Spaceship was a lot of people's favorite record
for sure.
But that part in particular was like, yo, they gonna do that shit tonight type shit. You know what I mean? So it worked out.
Nah, for sure. It's crazy too, because like if you go back then, I remember I want to say at the merch booth, like John Legend had a mixtape. This was before anybody knew who he was.
Well, I had a mixtape.
You had a mixtape?
I pioneered this. I gotta take credit for this on the strength of the hustle. Because remember, I put Take 'Em to the Cleaners out at the same time. So my thing was, this wasn't the first time that I was on tour, right? You got to bear in mind I was on
with Tribe,
and you know what I mean? So I was hell bent on getting some paper.
You're like, yo, I'm going to get something at that merch table.
Right. Yeah. Now, the merch table for me was just like, was literally like a corner. It was like selling drugs. It was like, all right, cool. I'm bring all this out, get rid of it. Yeah. And I was, at one point I was on the tour bus counting so much money that John Legend had his mixtape sent out.
He was like, wait, I got to.
Wait, right.
I'm missing out.
Right. It was free paper.
Yeah.
It was free paper, you know what I'm saying? And we all eventually, because we was doing that, then ended up getting the Sony deal, because we just was on 10 with the hustle. In addition to being with Kanye, you know what I'm saying? But it's, you know, it's one thing to be with him, and like you said, we go from, it's not, with the beautiful thing about Kanye's story, you know, just from being included, just from the outside looking in, is that it wasn't an ordained number one or hottest rapper. It was really earned.
It was
scratched and clawed,
for sure,
and invested in ROI.
Yeah, because I remember he was on tour with like Talib and Common.
Right.
Or was it?
It was Kweli.
It was Kweli and Gangstar, or was it Common? It was Common, right? Or was it just Talib?
It might have been just homie.
Yeah. But like you said, like he really like it wasn't like he was just like. Or like he kind of was passed over by Jay, like kind of like.
Well,
I felt like he was kind of like an afterthought. He was looked at as a producer. Like there was that.
Well, the thing is this, right? In fairness to Jay-Z, right? You have a whole roster of artists that are in your mold,
right?
Right.
That you know exactly what to do with.
You know exactly what to do with Bleak. You know exactly
Beans,
what to do with
Guns.
Beans.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Then you get the gifts of Sparks.
Right.
And because of their personalities and Petey and Free, you know what I'm saying? And Chris is 16 when they do the High 97 joint, right? So then, in addition to that, you know, G and Hip Hop start building the production, right? So that goes from him outsourcing production to him having now Just Blaze, bringing Bink in, and now Ye comes, you know, was over with D-Dot, and then winds up being managed by G and Hop. You know what I'm saying? So if you Jay and you looking at your pyramid, you all set. Every brick is in place.
Yeah, you don't need nothing else.
Right.
Let alone something you've never seen before.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this is right. And then we're trying to reinvent the wheel with you being a rapper producer instead of you being a producer rapper. Right? Because the wheel is Timbaland raps with Magoo.
Right.
Right?
Dr. Dre raps.
Dr. Dre raps with Snoop Dogg. Right? So the producer is good, but he's not as good as the real rapper. Right? You know what I'm saying? The
weirdest moth flying around.
It's all good. From a stereotype and a stigma point of view. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and in fairness, one of the things that kind of changed the course of history is just the fact that I wasn't in Tribe no more. And when me and Kanye linked, we both had what each other needed to get into the future. You know what I'm saying? Because I never fell off with Tribe. The business didn't work out. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's why when The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly dropped, I was a whole new motherfucker to motherfuckers because they hadn't heard me for a second. I was on a Rockefeller beat and Kanye rapping with me and we killing shit because we don't got nothing to lose. Right? So then he don't got nothing to lose after Went Through the Wire drop. Right. Like, he was to the point.
And Through the Wire was like a real, like, you had to like be real tuned into the internet to get, because I remember having the OG version.
Right. Where he was
where he was really like mumbling.
Right. Where he was, because the shit was still shut.
But it was like you had to get that shit off of like message boards or Napster, whatever the fuck.
But even before we get to that.
Kill this fucking moth.
But even before we get to that, you know, he gets embraced by the heavy hitters.
Yeah, he had the heavy hitters for live. By the way, I'm a heavy hitter. Shout out to the heavy hitters.
Yeah. Shout out to El Presidente, Big Spanish, DJ Enough, my dog.
The legend.
Word, the legend, for sure. And definitely rest in peace to Fat Man School while we at it.
Facts, man.
Word. But so saying all that to say that, you know, his escalation was literally, you know, getting a placement on Envy's mixtape album. It was a step-by-step thing. So it wasn't like, you know, let's say...
It wasn't like Jay-Z came out and said, this the new dude on... Like he kind of had to earn that.
He didn't get the
official...
No disrespect. Like, look at Jay Electronica for a second, right?
Yeah.
Like, Jay Electronica, Exhibit C is a masterpiece, right? So...
Yeah, one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time.
He doesn't have to really go 5 mixtapes deep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He got an established Just Blaze. He dealing with Erica. Jay embraced him. Kaboom. Right? Where Ye was like, at one point, trying to be on Raucous.
Right.
That didn't work out.
Like back then would be considered a backpack type artist. A boom bap type kind of.
Right. Yeah. So that's... also kind of like really kind of
fashion wise didn't line up with really anybody. He was just kind of doing his own thing on the fashion
right because but and that's because his producer money had him shopping where only rich motherfuckers were shopping at. But because he was in the streets and the street culture was at its boom point, it didn't line up all the way. Because remember, he wearing Louis before any, like, modern time, he really wearing Louis before a lot of niggas.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? Like, cause
the Louis Vuitton done.
Right.
By my mom, a person. Now she Louis Vuitton mom.
Right. That type shit. So it's just a lot of things that, but then eventually, once he clicked, it all comes with him.
Right. You know what's crazy is there was like the early Kanye like mixtape era, and then he ended up using some of those verses on like other people's shit, or like, even what's crazy is Home was a mixtape record that 2 albums later
before
became Homecoming.
Right.
Whole new beat, whole new every, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he had that shit on Home. And then even like I Met Oprah was crazy. Like he had so much, and the shit, your guys' mixtape shit is just crazy together. And I just feel like people forget about that era. Yeah, like you go on YouTube and just, I think people would put them together and call them freshman adjustments.
Right. Volume 1 and whatever.
Yo, I got a random question for you. I always wondered if this was true. Is it true that you guys had porn stars on tour as masseuses for the Glow in the Dark tour?
You know, ironically, you know who started that rumor?
Who?
Caden's mother.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
So not true.
Ask her. Or ask her son next time he come here. Nah.
I'm not asking your kid.
Right. Now I'm joking. But yeah, nah. She was the beginning of when we were began dealing with each other, and you know she just peeped some shit, and she was doing gossip for Who Kids radio show. So that's where that actually came from, and I was like, what the don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah. No,
it's after the fact now, but don't do that.
Talk to me about, obviously you got your new album coming out on Friday. Is it next Friday?
Next Friday, the 27th? Yes.
You got a record that dropped with Melly. Obviously, Melly's been locked. I think I did the last interview with Melly before you went into prison or got arrested. He had a great relationship with Ye. Was that a record you guys had worked on, obviously, before he got incarcerated, or was it like some vocals you got your hands on? Because I saw you shout out his management. Like, how did that come to be?
We worked on the record the weekend before, the same weekend he basically got jammed up.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like 1, 2, 3, boom. It's
Damn.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He just was with me.
Yeah.
So we always, I came down there with Ye, and they did their collab.
Yeah.
And there was a little issue in the studio, so I left out and I went in another room. I'm like, yo, this shit, because it's Florida. It's,
Right.
It's hammers everywhere.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So
You're like, I'm too old for this shit.
Right. Especially I'm traveling. I ain't no peace on me, so I'm like, yo, shit. So I'm like, yo, this shit about to become too much action for my comfort level.
For sure.
So let me just go in the other room for some shit spark. So I do that. Like I said, we was down there. We at Timberland Studio. Shout out to Tim. And so his producers, Angel and Fetty, was working with us, and they has just put together like a little piano loop, which is the skeleton of Overdose. The record's called Overdose. And I wrote the part, and I wrote it. I didn't even put it together like this. Like, he's definitely gonna do it. It's just like literally I did it. He walked in. Melly walked in from off his tour bus. He had like, I don't want to. 200 people with him on.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And I grabbed him like, yo, come with me real quick. I need you to do something for me. He's like, yeah, Uncle, I got you, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he cut it. He just left him alone, and literally that's the last time I seen him.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Was it easy to get cleared to release? Because he's not putting. I mean, there's not a lot of music from him. That's coming out.
But he's still, like he still has a cult following. He's still like a tier.
Whenever listen, I don't know if he's ever gonna get out, but if he ever gets out, he's still gonna be able to drop music and be very successful.
Right. So it was respectable amount of dialogue had to go into just securing it. Because it was just between me and him. It wasn't with the team at the time. So do proper protocols, speaking with the team, and got his mom, bless her, for it. So shout out to Jamie, and shout out to Track and everybody over at 300 for
letting it fly,
it fly. Word.
Yeah, for sure. What is the one of the more random back and forth is the you and Talib thing. What is the genesis of that? Like, what happened? Is it because of like I just wonder, how did this thing? It feels like Talib has
a fall from grace.
I wouldn't say that. I was gonna say I feel like I've seen him have back and forths a lot online.
That's a fall from grace.
I can't say that about Talib Kweli. He's Talib Kweli. Like I got love for Talib. Like, but
I'm
just curious, like, what is the genesis of your guys' issue?
I'm saying that without no tone. To me, that's a fall from grace. Like, if you,
I fucked with the Black Star album that dropped though. It shit was hard.
If you were one of the people who ushered in the whole raucous movement, right?
100%. And the whole, honestly, that whole, whatever you want to call that, underground. I just had this conversation.
Yeah, whatever like. Listen. It all spawns from Tribe, though. Let's be honest.
For sure. I would say Tribe, native tongues, all that. Yeah,
100%. Look, at the end of the day, they all came around. When I joined Tribe, they all came around.
Right, you would say so that raucous movement, kind of like the father of the raucous movement is Tribe. That's fair.
100%.
I would say that all those people would probably say that.
When the Q-Tip's on the first Sound Bomb and shit, he co-signed it.
Oh man, Sound Bombing, that double. Oh yeah, that song with Tash.
Right.
Are you ready to rock the mic? Oh my God.
Right.
That shit was hard.
Right. So that's literally like maybe a year and a half.
That first Sound Bombing album was fucking. The first two, crazy.
Right.
Third one was cool, but.
So at the end of the day, I'm big on history and that's why I would make the statement I make. I'm not gonna go scuba dive deep into him. My album's coming out, so I'm not really in that space.
But was it an online thing or a real life thing?
It's definitely not no real life thing. It's definitely not no real life thing. It's not a real life thing at all. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I asked for that. I couldn't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's a real life thing. You don't disrespect my son or my son's mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I wasn't paying attention enough. I just know surface level you guys have been beefing. I didn't dive in too much to it.
I mean, listen, the Tribe is not has been inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame, and that had to just get put on ice. I spoke with the Q-Tip about it. He wasn't happy about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And Tribe got thrown in it back and forth, which. In fairness, it wasn't fair to the group name at all. And I take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, for me, that's a fall from grace. You sitting here doing that after y'all just did the last Tribe album and 1, 2, and 3, and I ran the merch company and then went on to get Grammys with Kanye or whatever again. Like, so, I get when people was like, yo, come on, Cons, this ain't.
Right.
So it's fair for me to say, yeah, that's a fall from grace. Like, yo, bro, you bugging.
Right.
You bugging. And also because it was a domino effect because Kanye stepped out and said what he said about him on Drink Champs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the beginning of it? That's the beginning of it.
I don't, prior to that, think about it. It's me, G.O.O.D, Kweli, and Kanye on the Killer Season on the last Tribe album. What reason do I have to deliberately go out of my way?
By the way, great album.
Thank you.
Fucking amazing album.
Thank you. You know what I mean? And so, what reason would I have to have one of the featured artists on my group's album? Because Tribe is my group too.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Why would that doesn't make any sense?
Right.
I went and got the Kanye feature.
Right.
I did personally.
Right.
It's my relationship, right? I'm the bridge between those worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and sometimes I'm credited for it and sometimes I'm not. And then that's where the waters get murky, because believe me when I tell you that Kanye feature don't happen without me. At all. And he's at this is Kanye post Pablo,
right?
And the Yeezys is at the first 100 million,
right.
So he don't gotta do it. It's on my strength,
right? Do you think you guys could ever put it past you? Like maybe Dave Chappelle comes and like I feel like Chappelle's like the link to everybody.
I'm not doing anything without a check.
Fair enough. Fair point.
That's where I'm at.
I like that.
I'm not saying no. I'm definitely not saying yes. But there's damages that's been done. Like my son saw all that. He 13 now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't again. I don't know the details of what was said.
No,
so
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know if what lines were crossed
I'm just
or
saying,
not.
I mean, I know
know
there's like situations because he's, tied to a few different companies like Uproxx, for instance.
I know Talib to be like a pretty reasonable guy. Like I'm cool with him, but
I don't know. I don't.
I also don't know what was said, so I'm coming from a place of ignorance.
And I think the other thing is just like he's been on the defense since Drink Champs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in his whatever you want to call it, it's not violent. It wasn't never gonna get violent. He not like that at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he in whatever emotion that he's caught up in, he's not using his brain. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like when you are caught up in emotions, usually.
Yeah, but we men.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm assuming.
Right. Besides Melly, who else is on the project that you got coming out?
Well, yeah, he's on No Apologies. So that's my first single that's charted as a solo artist. So I'm very proud and happy about that record.
That's been out for a while too.
It's been out, yeah. So we got the Chase Part 3 with featuring Kaden, which is the flip of my first joint, the Chase Part 2.
You got your son on it, with you.
Yes, that record's crazy. I have Chris Rock on the album.
Fire.
Yeah.
Doing a skit?
It's a verse.
You got a Chris Rock verse?
Yeah.
Did you help him write it?
Nah, it was a stream of consciousness verse.
Okay.
But it's really dope. The record is called Relationship Advice.
Oh, that sounds hard.
Yeah, it's dope.
It sounds like some Blame Game vibes.
Yeah, it's and Alex Osley from the Osley family is singing the chorus.
Oh, hard.
Yeah. So I have her. I have Way and I on my album. Way and I was one of the runner-ups on American Idol. She's like my Kelly Price.
Dope.
Worked on a bunch of records, and she had a breakout moment on Idol. So
fire.
And I produced 80% of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you're behind the beats and the bars.
Yeah.
Who produced the other 20%?
Kanye did Bloodstain.
Fire.
And and like I said, Angel and Fetty and myself did Overdose. And Fireman and Kizo.
I be having the same alerts, bruh.
Yeah.
Shout out to that ring.
Yeah,
that ring be hitting, bruh.
Yeah, move back.
Anytime somebody walks by your fucking, even on the street outside, the ring goes
right.
Somebody walking their dog, my shot. God damn, no one's at my door.
Right. So so yeah, I'm very happy. It's been a good minute since Day Job, but I could say like I waited my turn like a real nigga, and I'm excited about what's to come.
What I appreciate about you is you're, really a very rare breed of loyal in hip hop, and the way, because I feel like for better or worse, and I think a lot of Kanye's more controversial takes have aged a lot better than we'd all like to admit. We won't get into specifically which ones of those takes, but you have kind of, for better or worse, however the public has felt about Ye, always defended him relentlessly.
I don't know if it's defending him. I don't know if it's defending him per se. I'm me, you know what I mean? And I'm unapologetically me. And when I say that to say that the loyalty thing is not something that I put forth. It's I do it
just because it's who you are,
naturally, because of who I am. And if I do disagree with something because of my respect for myself, number one, and my respect for our relationship and the things that we've have built together and shares memories, then my guy who is wears multiple hats in my life. He's the plug. In business, oftentimes he's been big bro. Mm-hmm. In the streets, oftentimes he's been my kid brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different relationship between me and Kanye than say me and Q-Tip, because we're more peers. You know what I'm saying? Although I started rapping at a really early age, I became a rapper with Kanye.
Right.
So we actually got to come up to, it was, even though people knew me, I still had a new come up with him.
No, for
you know
sure. Because a lot of kids got introduced to you
through that.
Kanye.
So that's why so many people think I'm from Chicago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't be like, nah.
I'm from Queens. Yeah.
I'm from wherever you know me from.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how I play the game. You know what I'm saying? And so me upholding the block makes way more sense than me burning it. You know what I'm saying? It's something I helped build. You know what I'm saying? Not just through my time, literally. It ain't like I'm the most notorious ghostwriter for no reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's some real shit.
Right.
And it's not a situation where the credit doesn't belong to me. Like the game know what time it is with
right.
me. You know what I'm saying? And so from that aspect, it's not done selfishly when I do anything, but it is I have self-awareness of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, if I feel like I need to step in on something when it come to him, I'm going to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the multiple hats that we both wear in each other's life.
Got to stop the interview. Got to shout out to our partners, Blue Chew. That's right, baby. Listen, Blue Chew. A lot of people keep asking, what is Blue Chew? Does it work? Blue Chew is amazing. It's an online service that delivers the same active ingredients right to you as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra at a fraction of the cost in a chewable form. Now, this is all you got to do. No awkward doctor's appointments. It's all handled online, delivered to your door in discreet packaging. Go to bluechew.com. All right. Make sure you go sign up right now. Bluechew.com. Use the promo code Bootleg, and you will get 1 month for free to try for yourself. All you got to do is pay $5 in shipping. It's all online. It's amazing, man. And when I tell you it works, it works. Yeah, maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. Maybe you just need a little extra pep in your step with your wife. Or maybe, you just want to see be all you could be, we'll say. Huh? How about that? BlueChew.com, same active ingredients as Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis at a fraction of the cost in a chewable form. It is amazing. You're going to be lit. Your thing's going to be, as I like to say, do the designer ad-libs. All right. Oh, man, look, this is what you got to do. Try Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code Bootleg at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Bootleg to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to give a shout out to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Also want to give a shout out to MyBookie. Football season is here. Oh, my favorite part of the year to put a little action on some sports, all right? And this is what's dope about MyBookie. You go sign up right now, mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Bootleg and get your first deposit bonus. And you can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. College football, NFL, baseball. They also got the full casino. If you're into roulette, if you're into slots, if you're into maybe a little blackjack with the live dealer, you can do it all. At MyBookie, use the promo code Bootleg, though, when you sign up for a new account. Bootleg is the promo code. You'll get a first deposit bonus. And this is why it's so amazing. Right now, let's say you put a bet on, let's say a 4-leg parlay on a Sunday. Let's say 3 of the 4 hit, but the 4th one hasn't happened because it's Sunday Night Football. You can cash out your parlay early and take the 3 of the 4 and get the same odds if it would have been a 3-team parlay. Take that money and run. Or risk it. You got parlays, same day cash outs, all of that. It all goes down. MyBookie.ag. Sign up right now with that promo code Bootleg for that first deposit bonus. Let's get back to the interview. I'm curious, you are one of the original pillars of good music, which to me is my favorite, obviously like my favorite label probably ever in terms of just my personal taste. It seems as if most of the folks that we know good music helping put like Big Sean or, you know, I don't think Pusha T's rocking with Ye anymore. Is good music still a thing, or is it is that era over?
It'll never be. It's at this point, if we're being realistic, I think the question is it contemporary at this point?
Right.
I mean, as long as the pillars are in motion, yeah. But is it also contingent on legacy at this point? Absolutely. I mean,
right.
You know, people have come and gone. That's just what has happened at this point, and that's fine because it was never set up, in my opinion, for anyone to be stagnant with it either.
Right.
It was always set up. It was set up for me. Right. It was set up for me. It was set up for GLC. It was set up for John Legend. That's who was originally around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they started getting some motion, Common came on board.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Really Doe as well. You know
Really
what I'm saying?
Doe, yep.
But that tour you went to, that's good music. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually Sarah came on and Bentley came on and you know, then Big Sean came and Cudi came and we met all of them in our travels. You know what I'm saying? So the unique thing about good music is like I don't think nobody ever got signed except for maybe like Casey Hill off of a demo.
That's
you know
the girl from Phoenix, right?
Right. Yeah. But there's nobody got signed off of a demo on good music, to my knowledge. Like everybody literally was a moment.
Well. No, you know what? Because what Sean rapped for him at the station,
right? That's outside. Not a demo.
Correct. Yeah. That's
it's
fair.
not like going to Sylvia Rowan's office and playing 6 songs and hoping you go swoosh.
Those days are fucking over.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? So this is why it's just. And that's good music is the beginning of those days being over. That's what that's basically what I'm trying to articulate.
Yeah.
Good music is the beginning of those days being over. And that's not how I got a record deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how I'm still in business.
Right.
Go sitting there playing there hoping somebody's
right.
got an ear for music and shit. Like nah, we got to that action.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you ever see me upset about anything or going at somebody, it's because I don't like how something's getting done. Not that I'm over here with a chip or no shit like that. I just don't like how some certain shit had got done. Like, because if you didn't have to go do that, then you was 10 steps ahead of everybody because everybody else got to go do that.
Right.
That was the game.
Right, for sure.
That was the game. Q-Tip had a demo.
Right.
Busta Rhymes
Everybody
had a demo.
had one, yeah.
Right.
That was the game back then.
You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm looking at it like
you weren't getting signed off your Instagram. You were getting signed off what songs are on that tape.
Right. Or because you ran into somebody who was getting on the road to getting rich and they looked out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just from a fan's perspective, it's just like an era, and like when Pusha like kind of was like the last domino to fall, I was just like, oh, it's good music, man. What a fun like.
I mean, but see, then that's the thing. It's just like, and that caused I had to say something about that, and that caused the problem for the second time with me and Pusha. And I look, anybody who I ever have let be around my son is someone that I have either respect for or I caught a vibe with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, in stepping back from it, I don't think me or Pusha handled the situation when that was 2 years ago appropriately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can say that. You know what I mean? I've had time to reflect. You know what I'm saying? And when I even said that he was Pharrell, man, it didn't mean that I don't like Pharrell. I knew Pharrell before everybody. Pharrell rapped on Beach Rhymes of Life. I coached him through his verse in a booth. I've always had a great rapport with Pharrell. You know what I mean? So when I said it, I wasn't saying it. I said it because from the perception, when Pusha came over, he was coming over from being in Star Trek.
And being in the clips. Yeah.
And being in those are Pharrell artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you don't get many opportunities to reinvent or go somewhere else and become bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Pusha T has become bigger by working with Kanye.
Yeah, I always have said.
No?
I mean, no. I mean, definitely helps. When you're on Runaway, I mean,
his brother retired from rap and took a hiatus from rap.
I think it helps that Pusha T is like to me, I think he's just one of the greatest rappers of all time.
And that's fine, but you don't even get to have that opinion if he doesn't go solo.
Right. I think he was going to go solo either way, probably, right? But I think going
solo and having bread going solo is two different things. Going solo and trying to still figure it out as opposed to somebody who's already on fire.
He had a legendary solo run.
Jump on Runaway. Sure. And then that launches your solo.
Daytona's fucking up there, man.
But that's later.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Outside of...
Isn't it? I mean, I'm not. This is not slander. I'm saying it's not Daytona way later.
This is just a random.
My Name Is My Name come before that, right?
Correct.
All right. I know I ain't bugging.
No. I'm curious though. So, non-Kanye album. Take your album out of the discussion. Me and my homie were just arguing about this. I think that the crown for the greatest non-Kanye good music album is only between two albums. B and Daytona. Am I tripping? It's B or it's Daytona, right?
Hold on. Nah, because I can't exclude John Legend first album.
That's fair.
You said greatest. You didn't say John. You didn't say rap. You said greatest.
I think we're okay. Let's talk about
greatest.
The first John Legend album is crazy.
First John Legend album is a chip.
Up there for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Daytona, but I know from.
So what about just hip hop?
From a purist standpoint, then if you say I'm definitely B. Ain't no question.
I think
about it.
B. It's B and like B's a perfect album. I got emotion.
B-Wise B for sure.
Come on, he had
right. B-Wise B.
That intro.
B-Wise Common has the probably the best beats Kanye ever did on a joint.
I agree. And then I would say that the next tier is probably like Dark Sky Paradise. I really fucked with Cruel Summer too.
But that's Kanye on it though.
That's fair. I mean, also, let's be clear.
I mean,
based on a true story. Based on a true story.
In fairness,
the 2 Chainz first solo album was on good, right? It had a good label on the back.
Well, I'm gonna do you one better than that. If you really kicking that shit, you kicking. In fairness, because of what you just said, then I'm saying B and I'm saying Good Fridays.
Oh, the Good Fridays.
Right.
Why can we talk about getting these or getting those on DSPs?
No, I get hit every year.
I was so happy because wasn't The Joy on a Good Friday record?
Yeah.
So when The Joy came out on Watch the Throne, I was so fucking happy. Right. I was like, thank God.
Right.
What was one of the last? First of all,
I got the last Good Friday record is Chain Heavy.
And was that wasn't Chain Heavy was crazy, by the way. What was the one that Cole closed out? Cole had the last verse on it.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it.
Just that whole era where everybody had their fucking black... what was it called?
Rosewood.
The Rosewood era.
Yeah.
Man, Good Friday was a fucking... Oh.
That's it. Like, if I got to say, if on your criteria, it's being Good Friday. And then Daytona maybe could be third or fourth. You know what I'm saying? But Daytona got joints on it, though. I'm not going...
that's why I always like when people... Even like... I feel like people are super critical of like that, like 2018 year. First of all, the Nas project is solid. I hate the
you hate the narrative.
I hate the narrative about Nas's EP. Like the Cop Shot the Kid is fucking crazy.
Right. I agree 100% with that.
Also, like Kids See Ghost is a perfect body of work in my opinion.
That's why I was saying I don't know because I was just thinking about like
Kids See Ghost is so fucking. Oh yeah. Well, listen, Man on the Moon is that good music? Yeah. I mean, shit. Never mind. I mean, goddamn, Man on the Moon.
Right.
I didn't even think about that. I'm tripping.
Right. That's why I was like,
ooh, B, Man on the Moon, Daytona. That's probably the. And then obviously, I mean, shout out to John Legend. John Legend's first album.
Legend's first album was crazy.
Nah, that's crazy. But just like I said, 2018 was crazy because like I feel like Ghost Town to me is like an all-time song. Like not Kanye's.
Yes, it is.
Just an all-time song.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and people hated that project. I'm like, how? Like violence is so crazy. Like
I think
motherfuckers was just hating.
I think the plate is what took away from some of the regard for the art at that point. I think the plate was the TMZ shit.
Right. There was just so much going on.
You know what I mean, the plate was it's the Kardashians. It's 350s is on fire. It's
on fire.
Yeah, it's so much that it's like, that's right, you do music. You know what I'm saying? And when the music was at the forefront of everything, songs like Ghost Town was like,
For sure.
Ghost Town is definitely in the same family as Amazing.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But it's just so much. It was so that's when the whole billionaire talk is being spoke on, and it's just a whole bunch of things. Kind of, I mean, I wrote the great lines that's in All Mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it did like 100 million streams, but it's just so much shit going on that, there's no way he'd have had an All Mine in 07, 8, and wouldn't have shot a video for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But it's just so much shit.
It was just a lot dropping every week.
So much shit. It's just not even just dropping, it's just...
There's so much shit going on in life.
I'm sorry. You know who got the best beats?
Best Ye beats?
The best Ye beats. After B. Wipe everybody I just said. Guess who got the best Ye beats?
Who?
Tiana Taylor. Facts.
Okay.
Facts of life. The Tiana Taylor.
I thought it was fire.
It just wasn't. It got, in my opinion, the mixes was rushed, but the actual beats,
crazy.
That Gonna Love You shit is fucking crazy, yo.
Yo, I wonder.
So I agree. So let me rephrase that just so I don't get killed on the internet. Honorable mention Tiana Taylor for sure.
Right.
Like you can navigate and negotiate those that we named already, but you cannot leave that shit out. That shit is fucking crazy, yo.
What are your I mean, this Diddy shit's getting crazy. There's been the old Kanye text going viral calling him a Fed.
Right.
You think he was on some Fed shit, like filming everybody and shit? Like, obviously, you probably know more about the inner workings of some of this weirdo shit in New York than anybody.
I do know some things. I'm gonna take a moment to say this. What I think is crazy is the potential of Kid Cudi having to testify.
Yeah. Right. because that's the car that got set on fire.
Right. And he's already concurred with the incident.
And I mean, also,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
In your opinion, because I'm asking you because you're in hip hop, you're in the hood, but you obviously can have the opinion of someone non-African American, right?
Okay.
Would you consider, if Kid Cudi testified against Diddy, snitching? So,
I'd like to revert back to my good friend Glasses Malone's definition of snitching.
Okay.
Kid Cudi is a civilian.
Right. That's why I wanted to hear this from you.
And so, Kid Cudi,
and mind you, let me say this to you. Kid Cudi has never really ever. I mean, obviously,
I'm not saying
got angry, but he's never portrayed himself
as a street guy. And I'm not saying that he isn't, because I don't know. I don't know.
No. Yeah. But at least in the public, right? Okay, fair enough.
He also was not a conspirator in crime with Diddy. So he would not be then telling on someone to get out of doing jail time himself.
He would be telling on someone based on being a victim.
Correct.
Right.
It's the same thing as somebody trying to say, well, somebody ran up into Bun B's house.
It's like the Bun B, right. What?
And then are trying, like, nah, like, I don't see that as,
was it fair belligerence what Bun B got based on?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think at all, not even...
I mean, look, I think Bun B teaches classes and is an entrepreneur and is an OG at this point. So I think at a certain...
nobody's entitled to hold a UGK...
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying... Look, if Pimp C was alive right now, would he have approved of that? Who knows what Pimp C's personal evolution on street politics would have been. Mm-hmm. I do not think if Kid Cudi testifies against Diddy, it's a big deal. I do think Kid Cudi is... an entertainer and someone who's never portrayed himself to be that. Now, obviously, UGK has portrayed themselves to be that back in the day, so maybe that's a different discussion. But I think, yeah, dude, I mean, this guy tried to fucking set his cars on fire. If that happened, and they give him a call, what's he going to say, no?
I just wanted to ask the question.
What do you think?
I wanted to get your perspective.
Do you think if Cudi testifies,
I don't have a notion. I have the notion. I just don't have the viewpoint as far as yay or nay. You know what I'm saying? Because I factor both the streets in and the belligerence versus the literality of the situation at hand, right? And the personality and characteristics of the people involved. You know what I'm saying? Diddy being a guy from the 80s and the 90s versus Cudi is a new wave guy and not a street guy.
Right.
And something aggressive happened.
Yeah.
So how do you weigh that out?
Hey, we're about to kick off another interview brought to you by Hardin. That's right. If you're in Vegas, it's the #1 dispensary in the country, the craziest selection of premium cannabis. And all you got to do is shoot them a follow, Hardin_Las Vegas, HardinLasVegas.com. When you're in Vegas, tell them I sent you. Got to give a shout out to our family at Odd Socks. Oh, look at these Cheeto socks. Oh, my God. Look, OddSocksOfficial.com. Keyword bootleg, and you can get the most comfortable socks in the world. Now, my favorite are the basics. Now, these are the Odd Socks basics. There's listen, guys. Whatever socks you think are, you're buying, they ain't messing with Odd Socks. Let me just say that, all right? But they also got some of the craziest licenses, like The Big Lebowski, the best movie of all time, like The Office. Lots of Office love. How about a little Invader of this? I don't even know what the fuck this is, but it's a good show. I heard. Jurassic Park. Hell of a movie. Look, OddSocksOfficial.com. They also got the underwear. Yes, they got the draws, and they're the most comfortable underwear that you could throw on your cheeks, ladies and gentlemen, and you can get it 20% off your entire cart. Unlimited amounts. OddSocksOfficial.com. Yes, they got Dunder Mifflin underwear, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at those? Oh, yeah. For all my Office fans, OddSocksOfficial.com. Use that keyword bootleg, and you will save 20% off at checkout. Go do that. Let's get back to the interview. I say, hey, if they subpoena him, it is what it is at that point. Right, shouldn't have tried to set this motherfucker's car on fire.
Right.
I would say this, I think the whole Diddy situation is just interesting because I see people now. If you've been in hip hop and been semi-important, there's a chance you have a picture with Diddy.
100%.
There's a chance you've been to many of his parties. He had Grammy after parties. He had BT. I'm
gonna tell you something.
This isn't a crazy thing. It's not like everybody who ever met Diddy was hanging out with Baby Oil. Then all the industry's canceled. I got a picture with Diddy.
A lot of the industry is about to get canceled.
Oh, I agree with you on. Listen, no.
Spoiler alert.
No,
in my Paul Heyman voice.
I shout out to Paul Heyman, the greatest manager of all time. I do agree that. Man, once we start getting names on who's in some of these videos, that's when things are going to get very interesting because, like you said, there are, I just think about certain rappers who've gone viral for some of their interactions on video with Diddy, and I'm like, oh man, maybe there was some sort of freaking off go. I don't know, but nonetheless, I say all that to say that we've all had pictures with Diddy. Diddy was one of our idols growing up as an entrepreneur. So it's but that don't mean, now I'm saying everybody, but that don't mean that you were fucking, even if you went to the party, one of my OGs was like, I'll go to Diddy party. I'll be out of that bitch by 1 a.m. because at 3 shit started to get weird.
There's announcements made.
There is? I've never been.
Look, I definitely been
they'll announce hey guys,
yo, it's 5.
It's
and hey,
whatever goes down after this,
fuck around, lay around.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe you might want to head to breakfast. Myself, I
went to breakfast.
Yeah, I grabbed a couple joints, slid up out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so but that was in a public joint, not at somebody. I've never been to nobody.
Right. I think it'll be interesting.
Shit like that.
I think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think there's also a good chance he gets out of all this. We'll see. I don't know, but it's a RICO, so you would think if it's a federal RICO, usually they only push forward with a RICO if it's like, it feels
Bro,
like they could.
I'm going to just say this. Nobody saw what happened with Max B.
Right. Well, Max B, who's been in prison for what? 20 years almost?
Did you see something happen to somebody?
No.
All right.
What do you mean?
Did you see anything happen to anybody that got Max B put away as long as he been put away? I mean, this is just a common sense question.
I don't believe so, no.
Right.
Oh, no. Everyone around Diddy snitching. Let's be clear.
Do you have to?
I'm saying, because think about all his staff that are just trying to make it in the music industry that were complacent.
That's carrot dangling. That's one thing.
Is that the girl? Or no, what's the name of the girl? His assistant, they're trying to call the new, like, the Jesling Maxwell, his, like, official assistant, the white chick. I think everyone's snitching, though.
How do you get the charge of kidnapping? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you that question. How do you even get charged with kidnapping?
I think that would have been the video we saw, right, with Cassie.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's on video. Yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man.
Ta-da.
It's going to be fucking interesting.
I mean, you don't need to be David Blaine to see where this rabbit's coming from.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. What, obviously, like I said, that last Tribe album, which would have been the first post-Fife death album,
right.
Incredible body of work. Have you and Tip talked about doing another album, or?
Well, I mean, he's been working on the LL project for a few years now.
LL project's hard too. I know he's been executive producing that, but I just wonder if, like, is that like the last Tribe album we'll ever get? And is there any Fife vocals that we haven't heard yet that exist?
I have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I know the group has been inducted into the Rock Hall, and that induction ceremony is in November. So we'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we haven't had that conversation, but I mean,
I take another Q-Tip solo album too. It's been, what was that? 08, 09?
Yeah.
That album was crazy too.
Yeah. The Renaissance was dope.
Yo, what happens to, first of all, I remember specifically there being talk that Kendrick and Kanye have like an album's worth of unreleased songs together.
Right, that Madlib beats.
Have you heard these songs?
Yeah, it was over Madlib beats.
So there's like an album's worth of Kendrick Kanye songs over Madlib production.
Yeah.
What happens to this music, and what's it sound like? Like, how great is that? That sounds fucking like a Grammy.
I mean, I just think it just needed to be structured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the idea and the ideas that were, I heard the whole thing. Yeah, it was there. It's there.
It's crazy.
It's there.
Yeah.
I mean, just like he worked with Dre. I went to Dre crib, and we cooked up. Shout out to Dr. Dre. We had a amazing time just being with Dr. Dre. As for me, it was just like, yo, this is the motherfucker who made Deep Cover when you was in high school. And I don't fan out, but that shit had me like, yo.
Yeah.
And even when Dre, was writing with him and he asked me to vocal something, this was when I was sick though. So I didn't really maximize it because I was like just diagnosed with lupus, but I flew out just on the strength, and I shouldn't have been even in California at the time.
Right.
That was, the pandemic was at the height and shit. Everybody was catching COVID like the cooties.
For sure.
And shit. And, but I still came because it was like one of those once in a lifetime bucket list things or whatever. But yeah, so there's a lot of music that's...
There's just so much music I feel like that's in the air that we'll probably never hear. But they were supposed to be Cruel Winter.
Right.
I heard one record off of there that was kind of like a Mercy Part 2. It was called
it's TurboGrafx.
It was called Trash Bags. Lifted produced it.
Might have been.
They're talking about making it rain so much they had to bring trash bags out. It was like the same lineup as Mercy.
Right.
But that was Now I always just wonder, because like you hear like and you'll see Ye get in with people and you'll be like, well, whatever happened to that? Like,
right. I mean, it's the course of creativity.
I'm curious, like, for you, man, like being a dad and managing your son, and he's been rapping since he was how old now? And how old is he now?
He's been rapping for 10 years. He just turned 13.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you? Like, and what are kind of like the difficulties of trying to break a artist that's your son? You know. Also, an artist that's a child.
Right.
Quite literally.
I mean, it's more that than the son part. The son part is an advantage because he's my son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever is invested is the automatic ROI just for spending time with my son, if nothing else, right? But you know, I mean, obviously there was the phase of he's cute and we respect what you're doing, but do we really look at him like his own artist?
Right.
Then it gets to a spot where it becomes where his peer group looks at him as an artist, which was always the intent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you really want other kids to consume the music.
Right. I mean, but it started because he's my son. The first available platform is next to me, right? And so, you know, the first time he kind of had spun out on a viral tip was when he rapped over Cop Shot the Kids, ironically. You know, ironically, Puff posted it. You know what I mean? Revolt aired it. You know what I mean? And Pusha tweeted it out. Kanye tweeted it out. And eventually Kim Kardashian had plugged him with Nicki, and then he got the Dream About Nicki video put on Nicki page, and that had 3 million views on IG.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Which now we're not. Now this becomes beyond him being my son, and it becomes he's Caden the crown holder. You know what I'm saying? And then so, which is great, but you know we play a game where you only as good as your last game. You know what I'm saying? And so, maybe sometimes the difficult thing has been, and we're in a sweet spot now, but you know there's the growing pains of hot and cold and going back to the lab, and you know, well, I did this, isn't that enough? It is, because you're enough, but in this game that we play, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
You know what I mean? And that's the game that we play.
Especially because I feel like for his demographic, like he almost has to shoot shots in the algorithm all the time.
Right. 100%. And so that's why I said we're in a sweet spot where that's coming together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to build. And, you know, like we got a collab album coming right after my new album called On the 192. And then next year he'll be putting out his official debut album.
Dope.
You know what I mean? So, you know, the plan is in place and things are coming together. And so it's been well worth the journey. It's the greatest joy of my life. He's my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. So he's on your album too, like you said.
Right.
What's the name of the new album? Yours?
Nice Doing Business With You.
Nice Doing Business With You. Next Friday.
Next Friday.
The 27th.
The 27th
of September. You know,
that's when we go into the check cashing place.
I love it. What's it like, man? How's this Vultures era of just kind of the journey been? Because it seems like I was in the Four Seasons in Vegas that night that he was supposed to do his event. Well, he kind of did an event. It was kind of weird.
Well, I haven't been around for the whole Vultures.
But I'm saying you just left China.
Yeah, I left China. Because I couldn't do.
I know he shed some of the fat on his team. It feels like, you know, some.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't around because I literally took the last 2 years to do my album.
Right.
You know what I mean? After Donda, I needed a break. You know what I'm saying? And because of where I'm at in life, you know, I had to put out
something.
I had to put out my joint. You know what I mean? Like I had the resources. I wasn't sitting here waiting for an advance. Right. You know, my bread was straight.
Get your shit
I set my own label up. I got distro. I did the whole shit. And so, you know, part of even going to China was just you know, our friendship got to come before anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our brotherhood, that got to supersede, because that's how the business was built. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be who we are if we didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? That this shit is more important with your dog than anything else. If y'all ain't doing this, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we seen each other with like, And then we just chopped it and just caught up and shit. And, you know, even yesterday we was just talking, laughing. And I was having to tell him about the ramifications of Puff being in the MDC, which is the Tombs in New York. I'm like, the Wolves is on either on payroll or looking like Wile E. Coyote. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's our 1-2. You know what I'm saying? But I did get to build with Ty as well while I was out there and shit.
Ty's great.
And, you know, we definitely want to connect and shit. So, you know, we got the future in front of us. It feels good.
Can you give me the story on at what point in time did you hear the Spaceship beat? Whose verses were laid first?
Spaceship was GLC record.
So that was a GLC record first.
It was a GLC record first. And he asked me to get on it, and then Kanye did his verse.
Got it.
Yeah.
So technically he laid his shit last.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technically he laid it once I rapped on it, then he went and was like, oh, this a joint, because he was only doing the chorus. And it wasn't no, you know, Tony Williams actually last, because that's the top layer of everything, and him adding that, and you know what I'm saying. But when it was just the Marvin Gaye loop, it was GLC, and he was singing the joint because they both worked in the mall, and that was like their connection, musically for Kanye to tap in. Like that's how he ended up just doing it, and then. It just coincidentally, I had a job history from being out of Tribe, so that's how.
I think that song is one of the most relatable songs ever, because no one had ever rapped about working at the fucking mall.
Or falling off in rap. That's my verse.
Yeah,
my verse is, I remember I had to take the dollar cab, coming home real late at night, standing on my feet all damn day trying to make this thing right, and having one of my co-workers say, yo, you look just like this kid I seen in the old Busta Rhymes video the other night. Well, easy come, easy go, how that saying goes. No more broad service cars in the TV shows. It all had got snatched from me. A&Rs and they faculties all turned they back on me and didn't want to hear rap from me. So naturally, actually, had to face things factually. Had to be a catastrophe if the future staring back at me, because nothing's there, nothing's fair, and I don't want to ever go back there. So I won't be taking no days off. You know the rest.
What about Gone?
I've been pouring out some liquor for the.
No. I'm talking about that's one of my. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite verses.
Playlist?
No, but that's one of my favorite verses. Like, how did that? Like, at what point of the creation of Gone did you get on it? Like,
happened.
Such a crazy record.
So we working on late registration. I think I told the story before, but so Kanye's original, we were asked to rap on J-Lo's album. Kanye's verse on Gone was on the Get Right record first.
Wow.
He wanted me to rap on it. Sony was like, we don't know if we want Consequence on it. If he not on it, I'm not doing it. He didn't do it.
So he had that verse. And it's crazy because the way he came out.
So then he puts that on Gone.
Okay.
Yo, I didn't do the J-Lo shit because of this. I need fire. We in L.A. I said, yo, I gotta go. I gotta leave then. I gotta go to Queens. I go to Queens, take the beat with me, go to Queens, sleep on the couch at my people's crib. I dreamt the verse. I woke up and called and said, book me time. I got it now. It came in. I've been pouring out some liquor for the fact that my pals going. I dreamt that shit.
Such a crazy verse.
And so it only took me like 2 takes. I had it in my head. I dreamt it. I literally woke up, was like, oh, in a sweat, like, cause it's probably at one point Gone was like the number 25 best all-time records at the year it came out.
That's one of my favorite records ever.
Yeah.
So. Even the way Ye came in on it, like.
Yeah, and I mean that. So after I did that verse, he did the last verse.
Okay, yeah, at the end, the second verse,
the blackout.
Yeah,
because that comes from the fact that. Wait, nah, I can't just let.
I can't let this man.
Right, because if it's only just the first one, maybe.
Yeah.
It's up for debate if I caught him.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I'm gonna go back in now.
And then remember, Cam's on there. He smoked it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's going.
That shit was legendary, man. But look, your new album is dropping the 27th.
September 27th.
Go run it up.
Please go run it up. A man is overdue for his. You know what I mean?
And then the record label's 192?
And I have my own label. It's 192 Records, distributed through Hitmaker. Shout out to Tony B. And listen, I have given. It is my goal. And trust me, if you a fan of anything I've given to anybody else, when you hear this project, you gonna know what's up with me. For real. It's my goal. Humbly, it's my goal.
How long have you actually been working in years?
Like I said, 2 years. After Donda, I just like...
You locked in, I got to do a body of work,
Yeah, so I'm ready. I'm super ready.
That's what's up, man. Well, we can't wait to hear it. I appreciate you pulling up, brother. Yes, sir. Boom.